Can you see the screen, students? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta, go ahead. So we are going to start with differentiation. So till now, what we have done, we are doing this chapter 12 from Thomas and Finney. So we have seen if you have a function of more than one variables, we have just considered function of two variables or three variables. But you can have, the theory is general, you can have more than three variables also. Then we talked about limits and continuity. Already we have discussed these things. So after that, today we are going to start with differentiability. Right, so we are going to start exercise 12.3. Suppose you have a function fxy, function of two variables. Now you know that if you have function of one variable, then derivative means rate of change of f with respect to x. Here, now you have function of two variables. So it means that your function is dependent on x as well as on y, right? Your function f is dependent on x and y. So you will have rate of change of f with respect to x and rate of change of f with respect to y. Therefore, we have rate of change of f with respect to x, and we also have rate of change of f with respect to y. Now, what do we mean by with respect to x? It means that when y is treated as a constant, when y is treated as a constant, and what do we mean by rate of change with respect to y? Means when x is treated as a constant.
Ma'am, can you repeat from the starting of the class? Actually, my connection was not stable. Just summarize.
We just started the class, beta. So we are going to start the concept of differentiability. So suppose you have a function of two variables, f, x, y. X and y are your input variables. Now when you have a function of one variable only, say f of x, then you say that derivative of f with respect to x. It means that rate of change of f with respect to x. Now because we have two variables, x and y, so we will have rate of change of f with respect to x as well as rate of change of f with respect to y. So we have these two things. Rate of change of f with respect to x means you are treating y as a constant, and rate of change of f with respect to y means you are treating x as a constant. Right? Now let us see what is the definition. So the derivative, this partial, this is called, this is denoted by this rate of change of f with respect to x. This is denoted by curly f by curly x. You will not put a d, you will not write like this. You will not write a d, you will write this symbol. The symbol is called partial or curly. Okay, so partial means this is just one type of derivative, because function is dependent on x and y. So we are just considering the rate of change with respect to x, and here you will write is curly f by curly y. So you will not write this, you will write curly f by curly y, or you call it as partial f by partial y. You will not write df by dx. Is that thing clear? So this definition is for this. Now you know that different derivative is defined at a point. So let me define definition of derivative. Definition of curly f by curly x. Right. Let fxy be a function and x naught comma y naught is a point in its domain, then curly f by curly x at x naught y naught, okay, at this point, which is called partial derivative of f with respect to x, is defined as, so you see, can you tell me what is the derivative df by dx? If f is a function of x only, then we defined df by dx at a point x naught as f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught upon h, limit h going to 0. This is the definition we already know, if this limit exists. So here we define it as f of x naught plus h comma y naught. You will not touch y naught because partial derivative of f with respect to x means you will treat y as a constant. So you will keep y naught as such, minus f of x naught comma y naught upon h, limit h going to 0. If this limit exists. Okay? If this limit exists. If the limit does not exist, then you will say that the partial derivative is not defined at that point. Is that thing clear, beta? So given a function fxy and a point x naught y naught in its domain, you will define the partial derivative with respect to x as f of x naught plus h comma y naught minus f of x naught comma y naught upon h, limit h going to 0, if the limit exists. If limit does not exist, then you will say that the partial derivative with respect to x does not exist, right? Similarly, this is curly f by curly x at the point x naught y naught. So similarly, you have curly f by curly y at the point x naught y naught. This will be limit k going to 0, f of x naught, you will not touch it, y naught plus k minus f of x naught comma y naught upon k. Is that thing clear? Here what you are doing, you are increasing in y coordinate only. You are keeping the x terms as such, x naught both ways. And here you are increasing x coordinate and you are keeping y coordinate same. Is that thing clear? So can you see physically what is happening? Yes. Physically what is happening is, because f is a function of both x and y, so there is a rate of change of f with respect to x also. You see, this is what that change is, because here you are just treating y as a constant, you are just increasing in x. That is why this is the rate of change of f with respect to x when y is treated as a constant. And here you are treating x as a constant. So that is why this is rate of change of f when you are treating x as a constant. So this is rate of change of f with respect to y. Is that thing clear? Okay. So this is the definition of partial derivative. Now,
can you repeat the definition, please?
Sorry, definition?
Can you
Sorry,
repeat
again.
the difference, please?
Yeah.
Between derivative and curve.
Derivative and? Can you repeat your question, beta?
Ma'am, he is asking about the difference between the derivative and the partial derivative, I think.
Okay, fine. Okay, you see what is the difference? Actually, there is no difference. Derivative is, derivative is a term which we use when you have, suppose you have a function of one variable only, right? Then you have rate of change of f with respect to x only, because there is no other variable involved. When you have function of one variable, you call it the derivative of f with respect to x. Now, because you have two functions, two input variables, f depends on x and y. So it means that there is a rate of change of f with respect to x, as well as there is a rate of change of f with respect to y, right? So that is why we talk about what is the rate of change of f with respect to x and what is the rate of f change of f with respect to y. Now, because there are two derivatives involved, so that is why we call them as partial derivatives. Is that thing clear?
Yes.
Okay. So if here
Yes.
we say what is the change in f? Change in f is equal to rate of change of f with respect to x into change in y. Do you remember? This is what you do, right? So we write it like df is equal to derivative into dx. This is change in x. X. Change in x change is equal to change in f if you multiply with the derivative. Here what you will get that change in f is partial derivative of f with respect to x into change in x plus partial derivative of f with respect to y into change in y. So this is how the change is related with respect to the partial derivatives. And in case of a single input variable, you just say that as, you just call that as derivative. Is that thing clear now? Okay. So how
Yes, ma'am.
how are you going to calculate the derivatives? How to compute the derivatives? So there are two ways. Derivatives means partial derivatives. We are talking about now because we are talking about function of more than one variables. So derivative means partial derivatives. So one way is curly f by curly x you can compute by definition, and curly f by curly y. I just wrote the definition above. By definition, or you can when you compute curly f by curly x, treat y as a constant, right? And when you compute curly f by curly y, treat x as a constant. Okay, so I will give you examples. Suppose I ask you fxy is equal to x square plus 3xy plus y minus 1. What will be curly f by curly x and curly f by curly y at 4 comma minus 5? Right? So this is
Curly
your
f by
control.
curly x would be
Yes,
2x plus
yes,
3y.
yeah, I'm doing this. Okay, beta, yeah. So what you will do, you will differentiate it when you want to compute partial derivative of f with respect to x. So differentiate f treating y as a constant. So you will have 2x plus what will be the derivative here?
3y.
y,
T1.
Because
Ma'am,
y is
3y.
treated as a
excuse
constant.
me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
मैम हाउ विल वी कम टू नो कि हम लोग को कहाँ पे कर्ली बाय कर्ली एक्स निकालना है, कर्ली बाय कर्ली वाई निकालना है? जैसे यहाँ पे तो आपने बता दिया कि कर्ली बाय कर्ली एक्स एंड कर्ली बाय कर्ली वाई एट 4 कॉमा माइनस 5, लेकिन एग्जाम
Yes.
में लाइक हम इन केस नहीं स्पेसिफाइड होगा तो हम कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे कहाँ पे
No,
कैसे
we
करना है?
are asked that compute the first order derivatives, means both the derivatives, right?
ओके
Because we
मैम.
don't have a single derivative now. We have two derivatives. First order means curly f by curly x and curly f by curly y. Second order derivatives are three. We will see that later on. Right now we are talking about first order derivatives, right?
ओके मैम.
Okay. Okay. So you have 2x plus 3y. What will be the derivative of y? 0. And what will be the derivative of minus 1? That will be 0.
0.
So this is 2x plus 3y. So what is the value of partial derivative with respect to x at the point 4 comma minus 5?
Minus 7.
2 into 4 plus 3 into minus 5. How much is that? 8 minus 15. That is minus 7. Is that thing clear? Similarly, when you compute curly f by curly y, you will treat x as a constant. That will be equal to 3x. Y is x is treated as a constant. Derivative of y is 1 plus this derivative of y is 1 minus derivative of 1 is 0. So curly f by curly y at the point 4 comma minus 5 will be 3 into 4 plus 1, that is 13. Okay, so this and this is your answer. Clear? Is this thing clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
हम जब
Right.
लिमिट दिएगी तो पहले जब लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करेगी फिर उसका डेरिवेटिव निकालेंगे ना ऐसे.
Yeah,
अगर
because
कोई-
here we know that we are talking about polynomials. We know that derivatives do exist. Next question I'm doing where we will check the limit, right? For example,
Okay.
if I give you this problem, fxy is equal to 0 if xy is non-zero, and this is 1 if xy equal to 0. Okay, then the question is find curly f by curly x at 0, 0 and curly f by curly y at 0, 0. Right? So here we will use the definition, right? Because you know that here you cannot compute the derivative as such. You have to use the definition. So let us do find the partial derivative with respect to x. that will be by definition limit h going to 0, f of 0 plus h comma 0 minus f of 0 comma 0 upon h. Is this thing clear to everybody? Because my point is 0, 0, and I am doing the derivative with respect to x. So I will do 0 plus h, y as a constant, like y, whatever is the value of y here, I'll just write it here also and here also. Fine. Now can you tell me what is this number? F of 0 plus h comma 0. Look at the definition of the function. Tell me what is this?
XY.
Yeah, this is xy is 0. H into 0 is
H
0.
into 0.
Value
Yes,
of
ma'am. 0.
minus 0 into 0 is 0. The value of the function is 1 upon x. So this is 0. So limit exists. Therefore, the value of the partial derivative with respect to x is 0. Clear? Anybody having doubt how we got this partial derivative equal
No,
to 0?
ma'am.
Please explain again.
Again, okay, beta. So you see, this is the definition that if you want to compute the partial derivative with respect to x at the point 0, 0, so what you have to do, 0 plus h comma 0 minus f 0, 0 upon h. Is this thing clear? This definition is clear? Yes, no?
Yes,
me-
ma'am.
Now you look at the definition of the function. Function's definition says whenever x into y is 0, the value of the function is 1. Whenever x into y is non-zero, the value of the function is 0. Now here, this is equal to limit h going to 0, f of h comma 0 minus f of 0 comma 0 upon h. Now h into 0 is 0, therefore the value of the function is 1. Clear? 0 into 0 is 0, therefore value of the function is 1. So 1 minus 1 upon h. So the limit is 0. Therefore partial derivative
Okay.
0.
Now clear.
Similarly, you can compute curly f by curly y at 0, 0. That will be limit k going to 0, f of 0, 0 plus k minus f of 0 comma 0 upon k. Is that thing clear? Here you see whatever is x here, I am keeping here also, right? And I'm just increasing this value of y, right? Y was 0, so 0 plus k. So this is equal to limit k going to 0, f of 0 comma k minus f of 0 comma 0 upon k. Now because k into 0 is 0, so your value is 1 minus again 0 into 0 is 0, so value is 1 upon k, limit k going to 0. So this is 0. So the partial derivative with respect to y is also 0. Clear, beta? So most of the cases when your function is defined like this, then you will compute using the definitions that like this here and here. But if you are given like this, the polynomial function or some other function like trigonometric function for which you already know that the derivative exists. Because here this is nothing but simple derivative. We just treat y as a constant. And here we are just treating x as a constant. So polynomial remains same. For example, if I give you this problem, find curly f by curly y if fxy is y sine xy. Tell me what will be the answer? Curly f by curly y means you have to treat x as a constant. So your answer will be, beta, tell me please. Will be first, you will use a product rule, right? First, you will differentiate with respect to y and sine xy as such, plus you will keep y as such, derivative of sine xy with respect to y. So it will be cos
Cos
xy.
Sin xy plus
xy, derivative of
Ma'am,
xy with respect to y.
sin xy
x.
over
multiply by x.
yes.
Sin xy plus
हम आपकी
xy.
एनोटेशन आपकी आवाज अलग-अलग आ रही है.
I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Ma'am,
Yes,
audible
ma'am.
हो आप.
आपकी
Yes, ma'am.
Clear.
एनोटेशंस और आवाज अलग-अलग आ रही हैं.
सही आ रही है?
नहीं मैम
Maybe
सही
No,
आ
ma'am,
रही
it's correct, ma'am.
मैम क्लियर है.
मैम
Okay,
सही आ
let
रही
us
है
wait for 2-3 minutes. If there is a problem, then we'll see. Okay. So again, I will explain. You are given this function and you have to find the derivative with respect to y, partial derivative with respect to y. So you just treat x as a constant. So because you have y into sine xy, so you use the product rule. First, you will differentiate this. That will be 1. into sine xy as such, and then you will differentiate sine xy, that is cos xy into x and y as such. So this is your answer,
Ma'am,
right? Yes, beta.
मैम क्या हम ये मैम कैन वी यूज दिस ना पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव, ये जो ना डेरिवेटिव हम कर रहे हैं हमने जो यहाँ पे ना डेल y के वहाँ पे अपना डेल xy कर सकते हैं मैम?
xy.
यस मैम, वी आर यूजिंग ना del f by ना del y ना मैम.
Yes.
So at that place can we use the del f by the del xy?
This you are saying, like this
Yes
you are
ma'am.
saying.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Yeah, we'll discuss later on. These are second order derivatives, beta. We'll discuss, okay?
Excuse me,
Okay.
ma'am.
Right now we are discussing the first order derivatives. We will discuss this later on.
Excuse me,
Yes,
ma'am.
beta. Yes.
Ma'am, in the last question, इससे ऊपर वाला जो था,
Yes. This one or
no
this
ma'am,
one?
before this.
Yeah.
Ma'am, इसमें तो function continuous ही नहीं है, तो हमने differentiate कैसे कर दिया?
Yeah. This is what I want to tell. But after this, that here continuity is not required. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You see, derivatives are the derivatives exist, right? Right. We
Okay,
will
independently
write
they
down this.
exist.
Okay, continuity is not required. In function
Okay,
of one
ma'am.
variable, we know that for a function to be differentiable, function has to be continuous. Okay, but the definition is same. Here you see, we have done nothing wrong. We have used the definition and we got the value of the derivatives. And the function is not continuous. I'll discuss this thing. Okay, beta? So
Okay,
continuity
ma'am.
here is not required for partial derivatives. Fine. We will discuss this. Please, everybody, just ignore right now. I'll discuss. Okay. So the next question is, you have f of xy is equal to 2y upon y plus cos x. So you have to find out fx. Sometimes the notation is this. Okay. So this is a notation for
Delta f by
curly
delta.
f by curly x. Right. So let us find out. You can do this very easily. So curly f by curly x will be, you will use quotient rule. So or this is constant, right? So you can just write minus 2y upon y plus cos x square. Is that thing okay? Into chain rule, derivative of this, that is equal to minus sin x. Derivative of y is 0 minus sin x. This is 2y sin x upon y plus cos x square. But is this thing clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody having problems? Simple, that if you are asked to compute derivative with respect to x, you will just ignore y. You will treat y as a number, constant number. Fine. Okay. So let us do this. The plane x is equal to 1 intersects the paraboloid z is equal to x square plus y square in a parabola. Find the slope of the tangent. Find the slope of the tangent to the parabola at 1, 2, 4. Can you read the statement and can you understand what is being asked and how can you relate it with partial derivatives? Without geometry, like without drawing the things, we will draw
Ma'am, for
and
getting
then
slope, ma'am, for getting slope, we
1
have to
k
use
में वो निकाल दें उसकी वैल्यू.
you see, beta, first of all, you are saying that this plane x is equal to 1 intersects this paraboloid. When you put x is equal to 1, you will have z as a function
del
of
y by del x
y
निकाल
only,
देंगे ना.
right? Yes, fine. Everybody gets it. When you put x is equal to 1 in this paraboloid, you will get z as a function of y. It means that you have to find out the slope, means you have to find out derivative of z with respect to y. So we have to compute curly z by curly y. So that is equal to, what is curly z by curly y? You can clearly see that is equal to 2y. Now you have to compute the slope at the point 1, 2, 4. So that is at the point the value of
4.
y is 2, right? So 2 into 2, that is equal to 4. So this is your answer. Is that thing clear? Is that thing clear?
Can you explain the slope part again?
Yes,
Yeah,
What
fine.
would
sure.
be
You see,
the part?
what is happening here is, you see, you have this paraboloid. Let me draw. Let us try to draw. You have x, y, and this z is equal to x square y square means something like this. This is infinite parabola. So you see, right? Now you have a plane x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 will be something like this. Right? This plane will cut this bowl and you will get a parabola. Now is that thing clear? Now this parabola, this, if you look at the equation of this parabola here, that will be, you have put x is equal to 1 here. So that is z is equal to 1 plus y square. Is that thing clear? Now if you are computing the slope means, this is the equation of the curve. You want to compute the slope means you want to compute curly z by curly y. Although if you look at this, dz by dy. But because we will not actually put x is equal to 1, we will write it as curly z by curly y. Is that okay now? Is that thing clear, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a slope. Slope, the same thing which we generally talk. Slope means that tan of the angle which the tangent makes with x-axis. So same,
Ma'am,
suppose
please tell again the slope.
slope is same definition beta. Dz by dy is the slope, right? You see here, z is equal to x square plus y square is your paraboloid, and you are cutting this paraboloid with this plane x is equal to 1, right? When you cut the paraboloid with this plane, you will get a curve, and we want to find out the slope of that curve at the point 1, 2, 4, and the curve that you get is z is equal to 1 plus y square. Okay, now because you just put x is equal to 1, so the slope will be dz by dy. Okay, this is what if you do geometrically. But if we don't want to do geometrically, we can straight away say from look from here that because x is a constant, so we'll just find out the derivative with respect to y and then put the point. Is that thing clear now?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, here as the plane is x is equal to 1, that's why we are taking dz upon dy. If the plane would have been y is equals to 1, then we would have taken dz upon dx.
Obviously, curly z by curly, in that case, we'll take curly z. This is just the statement of the problem, right? If your plane is y is equal to 2, say, then you will take curly z by curly.
Ma'am, please explain this question again.
Where is your doubt, beta? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, that last part, how you had written z is equal to 1 plus y square.
Here, this is when you cut this paraboloid that is equal to x square plus y square with this plane. What you will get? These are two things which you are intersecting. You will get z is equal to 1 square plus y square. So that is equal to 1 plus y square. But we are not actually doing this. I was just telling you to have an understanding. What exactly we are doing is we are just differentiating with respect to y partially. Why y? Because x is a constant. So the plane which we are using to cut the paraboloid is having x constant. It means that you have to find out the partial derivative with respect to y. Clear? You can look back and you can ask me again if you have doubts. Let us do one more problem.
Ma'am, how come the slope is dz by dy? Can it be dy by dz?
Yeah, see, obviously that can happen, but generally what we do, we see the rate of change of dependent variable with respect to independent variable. You see, this is what we do normally. Okay, you got it, beta?
Ma'am, why
Yes.
did we needed information about the plane intersecting parabola? Like, isn't there any general way to compute the derivative simply knowing the point?
No, beta, this is just the statement of the question so that you understand everything. I'm asking you, it has nothing to do with that this information is needed to compute the derivatives. No, we have already computed the derivatives without this information, right? Here the question is that if you have this paraboloid and you intersect it with this plane, you will get a curve, and on that curve you have to find out the slope at this point. Simple question.
Okay, so but if I wasn't given this plane, I was only given the equation of paraboloid x square plus y square, and I was given this point and I had to find the slope of tangent.
There
Then
is
what
no
process?
meaning of slope, no, in that way. If you have a 3D surface, right, and at any point you have actually a tangent plane, not a tangent. When you have a 2D curve, then you have a tangent, right? So you have to cut it to get a curve, then you talk about slope of that tangent. You got it? If you have a 3D surface, then you have tangent planes. You don't have tangent lines generally. We don't talk about tangent lines. So what we do, we cut the 3D surface with a plane, then we get a curve, and on that curve we talk about the tangents. Clear?
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
मैम अगर हम इसमें ऐसे करते जैसे डेल वाई बाय डेल जेड अपॉन डेल एक्स डेल जेड बाय डेल एक्स तो होता, मतलब उससे क्या निकलता फिर?
Sorry, again, del
डेल वाई बाय डेल जेड इंटू डेल जेड बाय डेल एक्स.
y is independent variable. Why you cannot do derivative of y with respect to z. X and y are
अच्छा
independent.
हाँ.
Okay, so these are independent. Z is dependent, right? Okay, beta. So let us do one more problem. Find curly z by curly
आज
x.
शायद डाउट की क्लास होनी थी.
Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, beta. Okay, let us start with the doubt class. How much time?
मैम ये वाला
we are-
क्वेश्चन दे रही है, फिर कर लेते हैं डाउट एक क्वेश्चन बस.
हम ये क्वेश्चन करके फिर
Okay.
Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
check how much time we have. 3:30. Curly z by curly
15
x.
minutes.
If we have yz minus log z is equal to x plus y, right? So you have to find curly z by curly x, right? Can you tell me?
स्टार्टिंग में मैम प्रोडक्ट रूल लग जाएगा.
Yeah, you can just use the implicit. You just differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate partially with respect to x. So what you will get? Can you tell me? What will be the derivative here? When you are differentiating with respect to x means you will treat y as a constant. So this will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
y constant curly z by curly x minus here 1 by z into curly z by curly x. And here you will get 1 plus 0. Right? So your curly z by curly x into y minus 1 by z is equal to 1. So your curly z by curly x is z upon yz minus 1. So this is your answer. Is that okay? This is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
okay, beta. Now you can ask your doubts, and then we will tomorrow we will next week we'll continue from here. Fine, beta.
मैम 10 ही मिनट मिले, 10 ही मिनट रह गए मैम, आप करा ही दीजिए, नेक्स्ट क्लास को हम लोग कर लेंगे.
हम अभी करा दीजिए.
तो मेरे को 10 मिनट रह गए, कोई
Yes,
डाउट
ma'am.
हो तो पढ़ लो.
Okay,
हम
beta.
डाउट सेक्शन ले लेंगे 12.3 तक के.
हाँ जी मैम, वो बेटर रहेगा.
Okay, beta.
हाँ
So
नेक्स्ट
yeah, okay, fine. This is the 12.3 exercise we are doing, right? So everybody, so I will continue with the questions. So you have, suppose I give you this problem, f, x, y, z. Now you can have function of more than 2 variables also. Suppose this is x sine y plus 3z. Now you will have how many derivatives?
मैम 3 होंगे इसमें तो. एक
Curly f
y
by curly x, curly f by curly y, and
curly
curly f
f
by
by curly z.
curly z. Same concept. So what will be curly f by curly x? Tell me the answer.
मैम ये तो साइन हो जाएगा ना, साइन
This
y
is
plus z
this is
y.
This
yeah.
is a
This is
constant, na?
constant.
Sin y plus
So
3z.
this will be sine y plus
Y
3z.
plus 3z.
3z.
When you
X,
differentiate with respect to
X will
y,
be constant. Yeah.
will treat x as a constant. So this will
Thank
be
you, bro.
cos y plus 3z into
3z.
chain rule derivative of y plus 3z, that is 1. Here,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you differentiate with respect to z, you will keep x as a constant. So you have cos
Sin
y
y
plus
cos
3z
y plus.
into derivative of this, that will be 3.
3.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this one thing I want to tell you, this is important. Note, continuity is not required for existence of partial derivatives. Okay, we know in case of single variable, for the function to be differentiable, it has to be continuous. But here, continuity is not derivatives. So example is, we have already discussed. Example, look at this function fxy is equal to 0 when xy is non-zero and 1 when xy is 0. Here you see, we have already seen above, we have already seen that the partial derivative with respect to x at 0, 0 and partial derivative with respect to y at 0, 0 both exist and are equal to 0. Okay, we have already seen beta here in this example that this was your function. We computed curly f by curly x and we also computed curly f by curly y. Limit exists in both the cases, so you get 0 as 0 number for both the derivatives, right? Is that thing clear? But now can you see, is this a continuous function? Is this a continuous function? Anybody? Look at this function. Tell
No,
me, is it
ma'am.
continuous?
No.
At 0, 0. At
No,
0,
ma'am.
0. So you see here, what is a function? If you look at function, if you come along a path where xy is non-zero, so along this path, because here the product of x and y is non-zero. Along all these paths, what is the value? Tell me.
0, ma'am.
0. Okay. And if you come along a path where x into y is 0, so this is this.
Means along the axis.
If you come along the axis here or here or here or here, so what is your
1.
value? 1.
1.
That if you approach 0, 0 along black paths where xy is non-zero, you will approach, you will have limit 0, right? Limit is 0. Limit is 0. And if you approach 0, 0 along purple paths where xy is not equal to 0, limit is 1. Therefore, different limit along different paths. Therefore, limit xy going to 0, 0, fxy does not exist. Therefore, this function is not continuous at 0, 0. fxy is not continuous at 0, 0. This is an example where your function is not continuous, but the derivatives, partial derivatives, they do exist. Okay, so this note you have to understand that continuity is not mandatory for the existence of partial derivatives. Is that okay? Yes, beta? Anybody
ma'am.
having a doubt? Yeah. Okay.
मैम
So,
प्लीज नीचे स्क्रॉल कर देंगी
sorry, beta?
मैम नीचे स्क्रॉल कर दीजिएगा प्लीज 1 मिनट
Yes.
थैंक यू मैम
So we will do this last problem. Everybody can try. The resistors R1 of R1, R2, R3 ohms are connected in parallel to make an R ohm resistor. The value of R can be found from the equation 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. You know, right? If you connect 3 resistors parallelly, this is what your final resistance will be, right? If you have a circuit like this, right? So your R, which is the final resultant resistance, that will be equal, given by 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Everybody knows this, right? Yes. Now the question is find. Yeah, and the question is find curly R by curly R2 when R1 is 30, R2 is 45, R3 is 90. Now you see, this is an example where your final resistance depends on 3 things: R1, R2, R3. So that is why if you want to compute the rate of change with respect to any of the independent variable, you have to consider partial derivatives. Now the question is, compute curly r by curly r2 when r1 is 30, r2 is 45, r3 is 90. Can you tell me the number? Can you tell me the answer? Simple question. Simply differentiate with respect to R2 partially. When you differentiate partially, you will treat R1 and R3 as a constant. So what will happen when you differentiate it? Minus 1 by R square into curly R by curly R2. That will be equal to, this is 0 minus this.
45.
Sorry, beta. How much?
45.
No. 1 by 9.
9.
R2 square plus 0. Right? So your answer is curly R by curly R2 is R square upon R2 square. Now these are the values at which you have to compute. R2 is 45 square. Now what is R at these values? That will be 1 by
Ma'am,
30
1 by
plus
9
1.
answer
Sorry,
है. 1 by 9.
yeah, so this is equal to 1 by 9. This is the answer. Is that thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. So you have to practice till 12.3. Still we are doing 12.3.
Ma'am, can you explain this once again?
This one, beta, last one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so question is clear that this is the relation and you are asked to find curly R by curly R2. Is this thing clear? Yes, beta?
Okay, ma'am.
So you have to just differentiate this equation with respect to R2. Both
Excuse
sides
me,
of
ma'am.
this
I am Ritish.
Yes.
I have a problem.
Sorry, beta. Sorry. Okay. So you will have minus 1 by R square into curly R by curly R2 is equal to 0 minus 1 by R2 square. So you just put the value, these values, and you will get your answer. Okay.
First, we have to find the value of R.
Yeah, obviously R is needed, no?
We
So
have to
R1,
inverse
R2,
the whole
R3 is
thing on the right hand side.
Sorry,
Then
beta?
also square it.
Yeah, you have to take inverse also and square also. Final answer will be 1 by 9. Okay. Sorry. Here it is inverse because
Ma'am,
this
I
is
have
1 by, and then you have to square it also, right?
ma'am, I have a doubt in a above
Yes.
question, ma'am.
This one?
No, ma'am. Ma'am,
This
super wala.
Yes, beta.
हाँ जी, ma'am. Ma'am, if we introduce the variable z here also, and we move along the perpendicular direction to the plane, then what will be the final comment based on the f of x comma y comma z?
No, then you have to change the definition of the function also, right? We don't know right now what will happen because there is no dependence on z as of now. Okay, beta? It is independent of z.
Yes,
Fine,
ma'am.
right? So there is no independent of z this function is. So you have to introduce that thing first. Then we can talk about what you are saying. Okay?
Okay, okay.
मैम जो पैराबोलॉइड वाला क्वेश्चन था उसमें
Yes,
हमने
beta.
वो x and y कांस्टेंट लिए थे क्या थे एक बार वो दोबारा बता
No,
दोगे?
X and y were not constants. Okay, there is one student, I don't know what's his name, Harshita, I guess. Somebody from Andhra Pradesh. Can you tell me, beta? Are you there?
Hemant, ma'am.
Hemant, yes. Beta, do you get everything now? Is it okay for you?
Yes, ma'am. I am okay.
Okay. The only problem I am seeing is that students, they do ask their doubts in Hindi. So that may be a problem for you, but if you have any other problem, you can let us know. Okay, beta? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you were asking x and y are not constants, beta. Here you see you have a paraboloid. Then obviously this is infinite paraboloid. Z is equal to x square plus y square. If you draw it, Z is always positive. So you'll get a bowl-like structure, which is infinite, keeps growing like this, right? And you are cutting this paraboloid with a plane which is x is equal to 1. So you will get a curve, and that curve is actually a parabola, right? And on that curve, there is a point which is 1, 2, 4. At that point, we want to find out the slope of the tangent, right? You revisited. Yes,
पर
beta.
जैसे x इक्वल टू 1 प्लेन है वो कट करेगा तो एक पॉइंट हमने फिक्स कर दिया x इक्वल टू 1 तो उस पे
No,
y
x is equal to 1 is not a plane, 1 point. This is not 1 point. These are infinite points. X is equal to 1 is a plane.
इनफाइनाइट पॉइंट्स हैं पर
Yes,
x
beta.
कांस्टेंट तो हो गया ना उसमें x इक्वल
Yes,
टू 1 एक
x is constant. That is why we are saying that in that plane, in this plane, we have z as a function of y. That is what we are saying. That is why we have computed curly z by curly y, because in that plane x is constant. Okay. You can revisit. We can talk about this question in the next lecture also. Okay. Time is up, students. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you, Gagan.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank you.